Hi folks, Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com, thechrisvossshow.com. I want to talk to you here about a recent incident that I had and some of the important elements of it. Topic of this discussion is sometimes you need to make time for not being in social media. You need to make time for the human beings, the human element in your life. And it's time to turn off the cell phone. It's time to turn off the social media, the Twitter check-ins, and all that kind of crap. Twitter usually and Facebook and everybody else will usually live without you for a day, or for at least a few hours, I'm sure. And I don't want to say that there's anything wrong with what we do in our world. It's certainly a differing world of information, et cetera, and that, whatever. But the other thing that's very important is we need to recognize that social media is about maintaining, acquiring, and communicating with our current relationships. And now with social media, we're able to communicate with relatives, people, coworkers, business people, whatever the case may be with your experience. In that, it's a great communication device. But there's also time when you have to spend time intimately with the people in your life, probably at a much more hierarchy degree, at people that are closer to you in your relationships. And I think it's important we recognize that there's people in our lives that are of a higher hierarchy than some of the other people we communicate with social media, and that those people, sometimes we should be turning the social media off and spending some more time with them on a personal or intimate basis. Recently, my father came down from Utah to Las Vegas, and he came down for his birthday. And I was really moved. I don't know why, but I was really moved to turn off my phone. And I did. I turned off my phone. I can't say that I did. I turned off the ringer because I used my iPhone, of course, to spend some time filming. And we spent the day wandering around Las Vegas with him and my stepmother, filming on my iPhone and capturing a lot of pictures. My father is now 72. So one of the things I recognize that this may be one of his last birthdays to spend with me, and that this may be some of the most important time that I can spend with him. He doesn't come down very often from Utah, so me spending time with him happens only about every 3, 4, 6 months. But what I did is I recognized that this was an important, intimate moment that I needed to take some time out from all this technology and all this playing and fun things that we do, because his relationship, I would hope, him being my father, is a little bit closer than probably most of you. I'm sorry to tell you that and share that with you, but I do love and adhere and hope the best for the rest of you folks. But sorry you didn't change my diapers when I was a kid. He did. Anyway, so I turned off the phone. Literally no texts. I'm not kidding you. No Twitter check-ins, all that sort of good stuff for a whole day. And we videotaped. We made some great videotapes. We made some great stuff some photos. We captured some real romantic moments with him. We actually went to the Venetian, and we spent some time on the gondola ride, and actually recorded the gondola ride on my iPhone. So technology does have its place, I suppose, in these settings, but it was an interactive technology where we were spending it on building intimacy, because they really loved the pictures the next day, and they really loved the videos, and it gave us some great memories. Part of this communication I'm sharing with you is 2 days later, my father returned to Utah and suffered a massive stroke. He has a pacemaker, and inside these new pacemakers, they actually have a defibrillator. So when your heart stops, it will defibrillate you and shock you back to life. Fortunately for him, he was carrying one, or wearing one, or having one internal, whatever the correct term is for that. I always joke that he has Windows 7.0 running inside of him. I know it's not an Apple because I can get flash porn on his thing. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But he has the pacemaker inside him, so his heart stopped in the middle of the night. He probably would have died from a massive heart attack of his left ventricle if he had not had a defibrillator. The defibrillator, of course, brought him back to life, and he's currently on the other side of, I suppose, life right now, where you can count the days that you should have died and you didn't. And those are probably what you would probably call in life bonus days, maybe. I don't know, that's probably how I think of it. So what I am trying to explain to you is that my father technically died 2 days after I spent this intimate time with him. And I'm very appreciative of the fact that I turned off the social media. I turned off all that sort of technology or noise that was out there, and recognized that spending some of the time with him was some of the most important things to do. And I also used some of the technology to record some of the most intimate moments that, if he had passed away, my mother, stepmom would have greatly appreciated. And I think they cherish all the more now because they were able to spend that time with me. So take a look at the people in your life. I mean, most of the people in my life, sometimes when I say goodbye to them, I wonder, might that be the last time that I see them? And I think it's important that we realize how fragile life can be sometimes, especially when it comes to, instead of browbeating people for, what they do wrong, like not picking up the socks or not picking up their underwear or how they roll the toilet paper, maybe we should learn to appreciate each other a lot better and realize the deeper inroads of intimacy that we need to have and their hierarchies in our lives and what that's about. So I want to share that with you, and I hope that you take time out in your life to turn off some of the noise and spend more time with the quality of people based upon their hierarchy of importance in your life. Certainly your spouses and your kids need probably a whole different experience from you than you just tweeting them or retweeting them. Thanks for coming by the ChrisVossShow.com. Bye-bye.